So my name is Aaliyah, and the topic I'm talking about today is anxiety. I would like for everyone to imagine that there are college students in a Comm 100 class that requires them to give a speech. And it's the day you have to give your speech, and you're walking up to the podium, and you start to feel your hands getting clammy and sweaty, and your heart starts to pound in your chest, and your muscles begin to tense. What you're experiencing is anxiety. Anxiety is a very common disorder and can have a negative effect on a person's life, but there are methods that he or she can abide to contain or to achieve contentment. And the Merriam-Webster dictionary defines anxiety as an abnormal and overwhelming sense of apprehension and fear, often marked by physiological signs, doubt concerning the reality and nature of the threat, and self-doubt about one's capacity to cope with it. And I personally have experienced anxiety myself, to a great degree, it's almost like a panic attack type of stuff. But so I feel like, I've overcame it. So I feel like I have I'm qualified to speak about this topic. At the conclusion of my speech, the audience members will be informed of three causes of anxiety, 3 effects of anxiety, as well as 3 ways to control and overcome anxiety. WebMD defines anxiety, or states that anxiety may be caused by a mental condition, physical condition, the effects of drugs, or the combination of these. A form of mental condition would be like a phobic disorder, and a form of phobic disorder would be like trypophobia, which I have currently, and it's pretty much the fear of a cluster of dots. And whenever I see the cluster of dots, I break down and start crying, and I start itching, and it's just my heart starts pounding, and it's a form of anxiety though. And a form of a physical condition would be medical issues, such as if you had or have asthma, or have had a heart attack in the past or something, then that would affect you during your speeches, breathing wise. And then due to the effects of drugs, such as cocaine, that would mean that cocaine has an effect on your body, which means that you would have less sleep or horrible eating habits, and that can affect your body in a way to give you anxiety as well. Stephen G. Hoffman, who is a professor at the University of Marburg with a PhD in psychology, wrote a book called Psychological Approaches for Anxiety. And in his book, he states that anxiety disorders begin early in life and induce the development of numerous disorders such as depression and substance use disorders. A few effects that anxiety has on you are mentally, physically, and socially. Yeah. And mentally, anxiety can give you panic disorders, which is a psychiatric disorder in which but it means that your anxiety builds up and it becomes worse, and which turns into attacks. And then for physically, anxiety can make you it can make you dizzy, restless. It can cause your heart rate to rise, sweating, tension, stuff like that. And socially, anxiety can make you isolated. It can cause depression because you're afraid to talk to others due to your anxiety. And ways to control your anxiety would include to know about anxiety and the causes of it, because anxiety is normal, everyone has it, so a person shouldn't feel as isolated about it. To cope with it, a person can maybe breathe before they give a speech, or get a good night rest before they give the speech, as well as another way to control or cope with it is to have a positive mindset before you give your speech, like in the textbook that we have. I forgot what it's called. It says that instead of stage fright, we should have stage excitement. So I would like to conclude my speech and say that now that everyone knows some of the causes and effects of anxiety, you'll know that it's normal and everyone has it, and